Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Alright, so today, I would like to proceed to our topic. Our syllabus have to be proceed to topic 9. Okay, but at the same time, I do receive some um draft on your individual assignment. Thank you, but I still not respond yet due to busy schedule. But inshallah by within this week, I will reply back for those who are sending the draft to me by email and also by WhatsApp. Okay, all right. Thank you for sending the draft. Right. So, for topic 9, this is about organizational size, life cycle, and decline. Yeah. So for topic 9, they have three like subtopics that have to be covered. And as you can see from here, we have organization size, life cycle, and decline. So okay, we move for the first one. Okay. So what is the differences between large and a small organization? Okay, so as you can see from here, okay, large company mostly in terms of the economies of scale, um, they can have more, okay, because economies of scale is referring to the company or the organization that able to provide the product or services at maximize in a huge quantity at a lower cost. Huh? Alright, so the second one, for the large company, they are global reach, meaning to say possibility mostly the company, large company, they're able to expand more to more than one country due to its size, whether in terms of their annual sales revenue yearly is quite good, and also in terms of the workers itself. The size of the full-time workers is also huge. That's why they can globally reach to the any country around the world. And the third one, we have vertical hierarchy, meaning mechanistic, okay, because they have mostly they have huge numbers of the full-time workers, okay. So that's why in terms of the organization chart, mostly they are in the size of vertical hierarchy. And also large company or large organization, mostly they are very complex because due to the decision making and complexity of um, the people, I mean the employees itself, and then in terms of um, I believe the nature of work itself also will be have this complexity. And of course in terms of the next point is stable market. Okay, why is stable market? Because possibility large organization, they're able to survive. Okay, they're able to survive and they are more stable compared to the small organization. And organization man, meaning to say, um, basically they are work for people. I mean, like um, they have to work in the company, okay, the organization, and they are not in the right one to have more thinker. They are more follower. So that's why they when they say organization man, mostly is referring to terms of the follower. They are more on following the command and instruction from their bosses, from the top management. Compared to the small organization, okay, they are very responsive and also they are very flexible because small company in terms to have to make certain decision, they don't need to have very complexity. Okay, because I believe in terms of decision making, there is no involvement of much people, and in terms of expanding their market, mostly they are more on regional reach. regional meaning to say within the same country. Okay, maybe they have like north region, south region, or maybe they have east region or central region. So they're not covered too much for that. And the third one, they are flat structure, okay, and they are more organic compared to the large organization just now. They are more vertical, hierarchy, and mechanistic. Okay, and in terms of the organization chart also, they are very simple. And in terms of what we call this, they stated the word here niche finding, meaning to say mostly small market. They are basically focusing on the certain product or services that they want to provide to the customer. So they are focusing more on niche product and niche services. And of course, when we're talking about entrepreneurs, uh, basically they are thinker. They able to make some unique or certain of more on innovation. Okay, and then somehow they also like what we call the one who take the risk for every single decision that they make compared to the organization man in the large organization. Most probably they are um, follower. So if we're talking about entrepreneurs, they are leader because they are giving an idea and then they do some uniqueness, okay, idea innovations, okay, and of course they try to take that risk. So that is the differentiation between the large organization and also the small organization, okay, and organization size is a bigger, better, okay. So pressure for growth, okay. Companies in all industries strive for growth to acquire the size and resources needed to compete globally. Okay. Um, in this case, okay, when we're talking about the organization, okay, they try to make sure that they have more resources, okay, from the different supplier, for example, because they want to make sure that the company and organization able to produce the certain products and also the services and provide the services to the customer. So that's why when we're talking about the size itself, the more bigger the size, the stable, as we mentioned in previous slide just now, right? The more stable it are, and at the same time they can compete globally to the another organization and also another country. And in terms of the size enables the company to take this. When you are a small company compared to the large company, small company maybe in terms of to take the risk, you can take the risk as I mentioned just now, like entrepreneurs, but at the same time, they might be have high vulnerability. They are exposing to the risk due to maybe size itself is very small compared to the large company. Mostly, even though they take the high risk, they're able to cope with that risk due to the size itself. Okay, and what is dilemmas of the large size? Okay, so this is the argument and some justification. When you are large size, what is the problem that you might be encountered? So number one, large organizations are able to get back to business more quickly following a disaster. So they say in here, most probably, large organization, when let's say they might be impact some, let's say I give you a simple example like COVID-19, right? So when let's say after 3 months, of course it gives a big impact, okay, after the MCO and so forth, okay. Um, but in order them to survive that and to continue back as usual is is quite uh, faster compared to the small companies because when you are small companies, in order to regain that quickly, compared to the large size, will be difficult. Okay, I believe in terms of capital, in terms of the resources, in terms of networking, there might be the reason why large size is better, okay, in terms of to have the process of rehabilitation, to go back to as normal business back after the COVID-19, let's say. And then the second one, large companies are standardized, mechanistic, and complex. So this is the thing that we have to think it, because most probably large companies, they have to follow certain procedure. When we're talking about follow certain procedure, they have to be standardized and follow the rules. And in terms of the mechanistic, okay, we believe that in terms of I believe in terms of hierarchy, and in terms of the complexity also very difficult. Okay, you have to follow the certain of centralized decision making compared to decentralized. Okay, and the third one, small companies are flexible and can be responsive. Yeah, this is cannot be deniable, because when the company is very small, in order to have a quick changes is flexi, and compared to the large company, quick changes is quite flexible, and in terms of the responsive time also will be quick, okay, compared to the large company. And some say many companies aim to have a big company or small company hybrid. So in terms of why the reason, many companies they want, okay, to have a big company and also small company. Okay, in here the point is like this. Okay, uh, some company want to have a big size, due to maybe for them in terms to have like tackle certain risk is better, okay, because due to their size. But in other way around, they also want to have this small company hybrid, because when you are in the position of hybrid company, you're able to actually circulate. Can I say that you're able to mobilize to everywhere due to your flexibility. So they have pro and cons, of course, in terms of you are large size or small size company. Alright, and then this is some example, five famous mergers and acquisition that gone wrong, meaning to say they have come out with the decision to have M&A, mergers and acquisition, and suddenly it's failed. So number one, this is some I believe that all this company is uh, company that from US based, from US countries. So Bank of the America countrywide, in the fourth quarter of 2011, Bank of America reported a nearly 5 billion loss in its mortgage units, primarily from loans it absorbed from countrywide. Year of deal is 2008, so it takes around 3 years after that, and it showed that they have 5 billion loss due to mergers and acquisition. And for the Time Warner, this is like filmmaker, if I'm not mistaken. Time Warner stock, involving their stock, their shares dropped 80%, destroying 148 million billion of US dollar of shareholder value. The marriage was dissolved in 2009. So the marriage, meaning to say the Taiwan and AOL company is doing their mergers and acquisition. They combine. So uh, Taiwan's stocks dropped due to that marriage. AOL also a part of, if I'm not mistaken, publications, okay, industry. And then Yahoo and Broadcast.com, Yahoo stock price has fallen from above 100 to less than US dollar 17 ringgit. So when the stock price fallen, meaning to say the signaling that the mergers and acquisition is not good. And then Daimler and also Chrysler, okay, after a decade of heavy losses, Daimler sold Chrysler for around 7 billion. And the data is quite in around 2008, if I'm not mistaken. And Quaker and Snapple, the Snapple brand couldn't hold its own in large grocery stores after 27 months. It means like 2 years after, 2 years and a half after that, Quaker sold it for a merry 300 million US dollars. So um, this is five prominent five famous mergers and acquisition that go fail actually. But yeah, we cannot expect that every time we do certain of the strategy entry like this, it will be successful. Somehow there will be effects from the failure result. Alright, and then this is the organizational life cycle. Um, we do have entrepreneurial stage, and then we have collectivity stage, formalization stage, and also elaboration stage. Okay, and as you can see, this is like organizational life cycle, like product life cycle, but this is more on organization OLC. Okay, at the entrepreneurial stage. Okay, mostly the company is small company, and they have some more on creativity on that. And if you realize, uh, the crisis happen in the collectivity need for leadership. Okay, they need some one leader in order to manage the company well. And for the collectivity also, there will be a provision of the clear direction. They should have the mission, vision of the company, where they should go. Okay, and the third one, we do have a formalization stage. Okay, the crisis that occurred during this stage is need for delegation with control. Okay, meaning to say how we want to make sure that the budget of the company is well managed. Okay, to control how the marketing should be done, and to control the marketing cost, marketing budget by the financial. And then in the part of the third stage, they do have the additions of the internal system. And for the elaboration stage, they need to deal with too much of the red tape. So when we're talking about the red tape here, meaning to say there is a lot of bureaucracy happen. Okay, red tape meaning to say in political bias. Okay, that could occur whereby you cover up a certain of issue. Okay, let's say maybe there will be like corruption issue occurred in the company, but due to the corruption is being done by the top management, and you want to actually cover up the image of the company. So what you did was you cover it. So this is what we call as critic. And then eh, this elaboration stage also, the crisis need for revitalization. Okay, whereby the development of the teamwork should be occurred into. So meaning to say, instead of to have like individual and maybe just a part of group. Okay, they should also have some of the teamwork should be built in the mean here. In this case, we need to say they should come up with a group of department. For example, they do have like administration team. They should have marketing team. They should have production team, and also they should have finance team. And at this part also, if you realize, it's streamlining the small company thinking. Uh, and it's continue to have the maturity, and at the last one it will be decline at the decline level, meaning to say it will be slowly drop. Okay, it will be slowly drop due to the development of the company itself. Alright, and then okay, So this is the thing that the organization characteristic during the 4 stages of the life cycle. So if you realize, we have 4 stages here. Uh, Entrepreneur are not bureaucratic, and then we do have collectivity, pre-bureaucratic, and then we have formalization, bureaucratic, and the fourth one we have elaboration, very bureaucratic. And if you realize, they have structure, okay, and then we have also product or services, the reward and control system, innovation, goal, and also top management style. Okay, so for the structure, okay, in terms of the entrepreneurial non-bureaucratic, it's more informal, and also they have one person show, meaning one mini show here. Okay, and then for the collectivity pre-bureaucratic, mostly informal, and then they have some procedure, still have some certain SOP to be done. And for the formalization bureaucratic, formal procedure, we start to have the SOP and also divisions of the labor and new specialties added. And the last one, we have elaboration, very bureaucratic, teamwork within bureaucracy, small company first. Sorry, sorry, yeah. Okay, I continue that. Okay, so for the product or services, most probably in the stage one, they are single product or service. Okay, and then for the collectivity, major product or service with variation, they start to have the variation and also differentiation of the product. And then the third one, formalization, they start to have the line of products or services, and for the fourth one, very bureaucratic or integration, they have multiple product or service line. So we need to say it start to have different multiple of product inside that. And the third one, we have reward and control system. Okay, for the entrepreneur, most probably they are very personal and also patternistic. Okay, and in terms of the reward and control system also, they also have a very personal and contribution to the success in terms of their reward system, more personal. Meaning personal in here, they specialize for each of their employees individually. And for the third one, formalization, impersonal, they are formalized the system. So compared to number two just now, for those who are contribute to the success, they will give the reward to them. But for here, everybody, okay, who joining, okay, who we have the performance system, meaning they put into like KPI, key performance indicator, in order to reward the system. For those perform well, you can get the reward system or something. So it we put into under policy on that. And then for the fourth one, for the innovation, they are very extensive, and then they tailor to product and department. Okay, so the control and reward system is based on the department. Okay, if we say marketing department is giving such good sales for the company, so department will get that certain reward. And then for the innovation, they are by owner manager. Sorry, yeah, let's check this. Alright, so for the innovation, mostly entrepreneur and bureaucracy is done by the owner manager, okay, and then for the collectivity, for innovation is done by employees and managers, and for the formalization, the innovation is done by separate individual innovation group. We need to say they have their own department. Yeah, I can say department because department is mostly on number four. Okay, because they already have their own department under R&D, research and development. But they have their own like ad hoc group for the separate innovation group. For the goal, for entrepreneur, there are more survival. Okay, and then For the collectivity, there are goals group, and in terms of formalization, there are internal stability and have the market expansion. And the last one for the elaborations, they are very repetition, and in terms of the organization is complete. And the last one, the entrepreneurial, they have top management style in terms of the individualistic, okay, entrepreneurial, and the collectivity, they are very charismatic and direction giving. And in terms of the formalization, they are dedication with the control. And the last one, in terms of the elaboration and the top management style, they are team approach, attack the bureaucracy. And so, different of the stages in terms of their top management style will have a different of the characteristic. Okay, you can see in terms of the first one, they are more individualistic because they are entrepreneurial, and then for the collectivity, they are charismatic because they are giving the direction. And for the number three, for formalization, they are delegation with control, meaning to say they encourage on the employees and also employers to have both, okay, some teamwork to do some of mechanism and control on that. And for the fourth one, education, they have team approach, okay. Yeah, team approach meaning they have their own team in order to attack the bureaucracy. So this is all the organization characteristic during four stages of the life cycle. Okay, all right, and then we move to the next one. Okay, what happened? Okay, okay. So what is bureaucracy? Okay, as you can see from here, Weber is the scholar's name. Okay, Weber's define bureaucracy as a threat to liberty. So meaning to say, it gives us challenges, okay, or risk to the liberty. Liberty means your own nation, because bureaucracy includes the rules and standard procedure. Okay, of course, bureaucracy we're talking about the SOP, standard of procedures. Okay, we're talking about the rules that you have to obey and the guidelines. Okay, and bureaucracy also includes clear tasks and specialization, meaning to say they already encourage on your job description, where what is your job, okay, and what you should do. And in terms of the hierarchy of authority, um, what is your position, okay, in the organization. So what is your power, because we're talking about authority here. And technical competence, we need to say in the technical skills, what you should be complete, okay. And bureaucracy is the most efficient system for organizing, okay. And the control introduced by Weber was rational and a significant idea. So we can see that in terms of to have this kind of work and bureaucracy, it should have a very rational and significant idea. But it depends on how the nature of the industry itself, whether it suits well with the bureaucracy or no. Okay, and then the Weber's dimensions of bureaucracy and the basis of the organizational authority. Okay, as you can see from here, we have one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, we have six. Okay, because this is the same thing that have been highlighted in here, what is put on the diagram. Uh, Number one, we should have the rules and procedure, and then we have the specialization and division of labor. And then bureaucracy should have the hierarchy of the authority. And the fourth one, we have technically qualified personnel. Okay, meaning to say in here, the personnel, your employee should have technical skills. And then it separates the position from the position holder. Okay, uh, how to say that? be professional. Separate the position from the position holder. Okay, and written communication and records. So every single of the rules and procedures should have the written uh, communication and also record to make sure it will be valid to use. And then in terms of the size and the structural control, okay. In terms of the formalization, of course, it will be more formalized in terms of the rules, procedures, and written documentation, okay. And I believe, okay, in terms of the formalization here, it depends on how well okay you can create because each organization they have their own policy. Okay, so this policy actually been translated into this kind of formalization becomes a rules procedure and written documentation, and the second one we do have centralization, the levels of the hierarchy with the authority to make this decision because for the opposite word for the centralization, if you still remember student, it will decentralize. Decentralize meaning to say uh, the level of hierarchy from bottom, from lower level also can make decision making. But centralization mostly focusing on the top management, meaning the level of the hierarchy at the top level will make the authority to make decision. And the next one, we do have the personnel ratios, the clerical and professional support staff ratio. So how much? Let's say like in IIC itself, we have for administrative staff, then we want ratio 2. Let's say we have total admin staff is 40. So 40 and then 1 ratio 2. So meaning total lectures will be 80, something like that. So of course, when we're talking about clerical and professional support staff ratio, it should be in one organization. Even though IIC, we do have like um, finance department, we do have marketing department, we do have admin department, human resource department, so operation department. So these of department will be as a part of the support staff to make sure that every single of the activities can be done well and smooth in IIC. Okay, so this is they give some percentage of the personnel allocated to administrative and support activities. So you can see the dotted line of the green there, that is top administrator, and the green one is the professional staff, and the red color is the clerical staff, and for the purple one is for line employees. Okay, so it's been stated in here, bureaucracy in a changing world. Okay, so bureaucracy work for the industrial age. I believe that bureaucracy has been started long time ago during the industrial revolution time, 1920s. And the system is no longer work for today's challenges. It means stated here, organization face new challenges and needs to respond quickly. So over bureaucratizations is evident in the inefficiency of the large US government organization. So it is stated that bureaucracy, when too much of the bureaucracy and bureaucratic, it gives some inefficiency, meaning to say it's not systematic, okay, to mostly in the large US government organization. Because in the government, yeah, this is mostly rampant issue that occurred in reality right now, in the situation right now, in current situation. Okay, because we are talking about bureaucratic, okay, that is always happen in, especially in the government. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the reality, no? And narrowly defined jobs and rules limit the creativity, flexibility, and rapid response because you are more on organization man, as been stated in the first slide. That's not, you still remember. So in terms to have like encourage on people or more on creative, to more have innovation is quite slow, okay, compared to like in the other private sector, private company, they encourage on think out of the box. I didn't say that the government servant cannot think out of the box because they have to follow in terms of who is their boss. So if the boss give the command is like that, so they have to follow it in a formatted in that way. So they cannot change differently. Like compared in the private sector, you can challenge back and argue back with your boss saying that I'm not agree with this one, why not I'm using my own way in order to settle this project. So this is what I'm trying to say. So in terms of the creativity for mostly for bureaucracy is quite low, and then in terms of the flexibility also will low, and in terms of the rapid response will also low. And then some organizations are using temporary structure for emergencies or crisis situations. So in here, temporary structure in here meaning to say let's say they need certain of staff, okay, for the maybe they have certain demand, okay, for the certain job, so they have to accomplish it quickly. So they will hiring part-time or contract workers only for the particular task, and then after that they will maybe not renew the contract and not hiring more the part-time workers. Are you get me? So lately in Malaysia this is the trending, okay? They will just only up to the contract workers, but I do not know, maybe the rules by the government right now they want to maybe encourage on the contract workers to apply for the full-time job, and then they will get more on career advancement on that. But basically, it's very difficult to get permanent or full-time job nowadays in this age. After, if you realize after the post-COVID, right? Because I believe that COVID is one of the crisis situation also. Difficult to obtain and remain the job. So while we get the job right now, we have to thankful to the God. Alright, and then approaches to busting the bureaucracy. How we want to actually um, fight? Can I say that? How we want to face the bureaucracy? How we want to challenge the bureaucracy? Okay, number one, Google uses bullpen session every afternoon. Um, I wanted to have more on reading, okay, in your textbook. I also bring some manual here. Okay, bullpen session every afternoon. You need to see, um, you do some discussion. Okay, this is a term. For those who have the book, the manual, okay, you can have some reading. Okay, they say in here, okay, other approach to busting, okay, the bureaucracy. As described earlier, Larry Page recently written as CEO of Google to try to cut through the bureaucracy that has built up as the Google became a big corporation. So you know Google company, yeah. So one mechanism Page is using to speed decision making and restore the sense of the startup is daily bullpen session. So every afternoon, Page and other top executives work together in the public area of the Google headquarters so employees can directly approach them about the issues or concerns. Okay, and the more people say that you can't have a big company act like a small company, the more determined Larry Page is to figure out how to do just that, said Stephen Levy, the author of the book about Google. So he is referring to the CEO, Larry Page, is doing something like daily bullpen session. Okay, so they work at the public area, meaning to say in the headquarters, so employees can directly approach, okay, whatever maybe they want to voice out to CEO directly. So from that, they know what is the issue that arising, okay, in Google itself. Okay, I think this is one good a good approach because it giving some opportunity for your employees to voice out, okay, not just particular with like protocol to set up some appointment to meet the CEO to voice out, maybe to calculate a certain of proposal. Just say it, right? Say it in something like to have like brainstorming session, okay? And then the second one, they do also like small geographic based team So in the page 362, for those who have the manual, so they say in here, executive at the multinational consumer good manufacturer created small team based in each geographic region to focus on the customer needs and also competitive condition in each area. So in here, this card, okay, in the half numbers on division, this card in half the numbers of round of consultation related to an issue, leading to the faster decision making and also less frustration and wasted time for employees and customers. So the point is to reduce the red tape that inhibits the flexibility and autonomy of division and team. So in here, they also focus on the procedure on how the teams and division can communicate with the headquarters. So small geographic based team will communicate directly to the headquarters staff. So this is a good thing also, good approach also. And the third one, it has increasing authority of the workers. So in here, is giving some GlaxoSmithKline, okay? So top executive gave frontline scientists, not managers, or a research committee the authority to set priorities and allocate resources for drugs in development. Drugs in here referring to the medication, no? Not the drugs that you go for, not that one. So in here, the shift in who decide which drug research project to fund has brought an entrepreneurial spirit to the giant firms similar to that of the small biotechnology company. So it giving some opportunity to the scientists and researchers, not managers, to make decision on allocation of the budget, how to make the project on drugs research. I think it's a good way also. So everybody, when they have the idea in order to maybe come up with, after they do some R&D, research and development, okay, they come up with medication that maybe is good for those who are maybe in diabetes, okay, so they need some insulin. So that is one of maybe other way around. Instead to have like insulin ready to refill, why not we have like some injection, like a drug addict, right? But actually people misunderstand on that. So insulin also like they have to pinch, okay, their injection, okay, before they eat. I know that because both my parents is having diabetes, they are both diabetic patients. So before eating, even though like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, they have to actually shoot with their injections of insulin. And then the increasing professionalism of employees is attacking bureaucracy. So in here it's been stated, okay, professionalism is defined as the length of the formal training and experience of employees. So more employees need college degrees, yeah, mostly MBAs and other professional degree to work as attorneys, researchers, engineers, or doctors at the Google, Zurich, okay, financial services, GlaxoSmithKline. Okay, so being stated in here, okay, in order to combat is mean to fight this bureaucracy. Studies of the professional show that formalization is not needed because professional training regularize a high standard of behavior for employees. So which act as the substitute for bureaucracy. So the more professionalism, the more you can attacking this bureaucracy. It is stated here. So I want you to turn to page 363 so you can see the fourth point here. It's been stated here. Increasing training substitutes for the bureaucratic rules and procedure that can constrain, okay, the creativity of employees in solving problems and also enhances the individual and organizational capability. All right. So this is what they're trying to say. Okay. So we have three organizational growth strategy. We have bureaucratic, market, and clan. So there will be a few of requirement rules, standards, hierarchy, legitimate authority under bureaucratic. And for the market, we have prices, competition, and exchange relationship. And for the clan, we have the traditional share value and belief and also trust. So this is the example of the rules at the Yacht Club. yacht club, club macam, you know, yacht. They used to bring this yacht at river. Okay, and yeah, you can read this. This is example. Okay, so this is organizational decline and downsizing. The decrease of an organization resources over time is caused by organizational atrophy. If you do not know what mean atrophy, it means like organizational waste away the resources. Because they waste it away. And then vulnerability, when it is exposing to the risk, and environmental decline or competition. Okay, if you still remember what happened in few weeks ago, not few weeks, last week actually in Selangor, what happened? We have the water shortage, right? Due to the irresponsibility by a company who doing the water pollution. Okay, in order to cut the budget in waste management, what they do, they throw away their chemical into the river. And what happened? All people living in the Selangor, okay, in a few days ago, we have to be water shortage. Okay, we have to face the water shortage because the water provider Shabas have to lock down. Okay, rather than this water pollution be spread to us. Can you imagine if we drink this water and what happened to the health of the public? So it's better to come out when they see something like the water level have some polluted, okay, so they will stop, okay, rather than this supplier is goes and spreading away, and then we will having this trouble. So that's why uh, this is mostly done, okay, by the company who are maybe they feel that this is the best way in order to cut the budget and the cost. But in another way around, they do not think that it will give such impact to other public and citizens. And yeah, that's why they say environmental decline and all competition. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, the company is almost going to bankruptcy. So for them, that is the best way in order to cut the costs. Okay, and downsizing refers to the intentionally reducing the size of the company workforce. For those who do not know what's mean downsizing, lay off, company lay off, company is the same term actually. Lay off, downsizing. Okay. And the stages of decline and the widening performance gap, if you see the red color is for the company who have the successful organizational performance, and for the purple is for declining organization performance, and the dotted line is for the company who have prompt action, corrective action, and effective reorganization, meaning appropriate organizational response. You can have further reading in our manual, okay, in page 370. Okay, and then easing the downsizing tension. How we want to calm down this downsizing issue. Number one, search for the alternative. Okay, we need to say if the company start to downsize their employees, the another way around is to make sure to find the backup meaning the another way. Okay, and the second one, communicate more and not less. Okay, you have to give some maybe motivation, because it's not easy, because the company start to downsizing and to smallering pula, in order to make the company numbers of employees become smaller, and the chosen one will based on last in first out LIFO. Okay, meaning the junior will be uh, take out first before the senior. And the third one, provide assistance to displaced workers. This is what happened in Malaysia Airlines system, whereby they have 2,500 employees being let off. Okay, and then they have some assistance, work with the another competitors like AirAsia and also IKEA company, if I'm not mistaken. And then the fourth one, helps the survivors thrive. Okay, survivors, meaning to say for those who are remaining balanced, remain at the company, okay, how to make sure they survive, okay, they will be demotivated by I'm still stay here and my friends already going somewhere. My friends is no more in here. So in order to boost their motivation is by give more, okay, how to encourage on motivation on them, okay, to work, to have like previously, but it's not easy because it's involving like emotionally and psychology of mental of work. All right, and then design essential. Okay, so at the end, all of a sudden, then I'm okay, right? Actually, this morning I'm not so good. I having like I'm okay, but it's like yeah, when every day we go to work, right? Of course, sometimes we have exhausted or something like that, and I feel like I'm okay. My temperature still okay, but I feel like like want to fever, something like that. But um, yeah, I already take my medication on that. Alright, and then design essential, organization experience pressure to grow, okay, and of course when the company have more experience, okay, experiences, uh, they actually gain something from the experience that they did, okay, and the organization evolvement, okay, like evolutions from the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, as you would know that we learn, right, how they start with the introduction, how start with growth, maturity, and decline stage. So all these things have some evolvement. And then larger organizations usually adopt bureaucratic characteristics. Yes, this is been discussed earlier, if you still remember. And all organizations require system for control. Yeah. If we don't have this controlling system, the company will become haywire. Okay, haywire means to say it's not in the systematic approach. Okay, and the last one, many organizations experience decline. Yeah, of course, we cannot deny sometimes the company will but like roller coaster, right? Sometimes will be success, sometimes on the peak, on the top, sometimes there will be decline. So hook by hook, I believe that this thing, okay, learn, okay, how you want to take, which one is the best, whether you want to take like more on bureaucracy or maybe you want to take like more on like flexi approach. It depends on how your company it should be. Okay, and thank you so much. And please, I just keep reminding you, okay, because it's already topic 9 right now. So make sure that because I told you the submission will be in topic in week time, right? Your assignment. So please make sure that both assignment like individual and also group assignment will be done. Okay, and don't hesitate. Do not hesitate to sending your draft and asking me for any kind of the assignment. But I already give you everything actually inside your group WhatsApp, and especially the sample report for the group assignment, and also the attached with the slide, what we call Excel, if I'm not mistaken, Excel file with chart. You can use that chart, or maybe you want to use bar chart, is up to you. Okay, and then for the individual assignment with 2 to 3 members, okay, you do also have to choose 2 or 3. So custody asking me, so I can say 2 companies is enough to do some comparison because you have to compare. But within the same industry, if let's say you choose bakery, company A will be bakery like pistachios. Bakery 2, let's say you choose King's Bakery. So the two must be both the same industry. Uh, is okay also if you want to choose no, cannot. That one is for group assignment. Group assignment is fine, different industry. But for individual assignment, it should be the same because they have only 4 industry on that, right? Okay, so yeah, take care. Please take care because the statistics right now show very increasing numbers of COVID-19. So I hope that you will stay away from the crowded places, okay, and then keep social distancing and keep washing your hand and then keep sanitizing. Don't forget on that, and then please stay healthy and take care, and only just going out for the important thing. If this is not important, just eat at home. Huh? Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum. Take care.